Michelle here, and you're watching Strawberry. And today we're going to make these cute little drawstring bags. This is a no-waste sewing project because they are made out of the sleeves of old t-shirts. So I use the main part of this t-shirt to make jump ropes, and I don't want to waste the sleeves, so I'm making some little drawstring bags that you can put toys in for Operation Christmas Child. You can use for yourself. I mean, who can't use a drawstring bag? I mean, really. It's super simple, and I'll show you how it's done. Let's get started. So you've cut off all the bottom of the t-shirt to make jump ropes, and now you have the sleeves and the top. So you just want to cut off the sleeves, and I like to cut right on the shirt side, not the sleeve side of the seam, so that I have just a little tiny bit more room. This particular sleeve I can't use because it has a stain on it, so we still want to make sure that things are looking nice and new. Once you've cut it off, you're going to see that it's at an angle for the most part. So this is the bottom of my sleeve, like right here, and where it meets at the shoulder, it's at a little bit of an angle. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to turn it inside out, and you're going to sew right along that area. But I like to sew more straight across so that the angle is not so noticeable. So here are a couple, let me see, I sewed these with a different color thread. Here's an orange one. So it is still a little bit of an angle, but you can see that I just sewed this inside out. Straight stitch all the way across. Easy peasy sewing. Some of your sleeves are going to be larger and create larger bags. The larger the shirt, the larger the sleeve, the larger the bag. The smaller the shirt, the smaller the sleeve, the smaller the bag. You're going to need some of your extra t-shirt yarn, and this part didn't, stretch very well because it has so much printing on it. So I'm not going to use that section. I will just cut that off, and I'm going to use this piece of my t-shirt yarn. But before I get started, I think I want to make it a little cuter, and I think it might be easier to do before we finish up the bag. So I'm going to take one of my bags. Okay, so this is a larger sleeve. I'm going to take it and I'm going to make it right side out again. And I'm going to take some fun decorative iron-on transfer. You don't even have to have a fancy cutting machine. So here's some. You can just, they even sell this, I believe, at Dollar Tree now. You can take it and you can cut out a heart. We all remember how to make hearts. You fold it in half, you cut like a triangle up, and then you curve around. And now I have a heart cut out of my heat transfer paper. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on my bag. And you can place a piece of parchment paper or something on there so that you don't ruin your iron. I'm just using this Teflon sheet because I have it, but parchment paper definitely works. And you're going to set your iron on it and let it sit there for as long as was recommended by the heat transfer people, probably about 30 seconds. You want to put a little bit of pressure on it, especially if you're using a home iron or a mini iron like I'm using. By the way, I got this mini iron and I just love it. It is in my Amazon shop, so I will have a link to that shop for you. But I love it because the one I had before, the cord could come out, and it came out all the time. And this one, the cord is stable and it stays there. Okay, so now that that's done, I need to wait for that to cool so that I can take that off. Oh, wait, it's actually coming off already. And there you go. I have a little heart that's going to be on my bag. Now I'm going to turn it back inside out again. And right here under what was the arm, there's a seam for the hem. And I'm going to take my scissors And I'm very carefully going to try to pick the one layer away from the other layer and make a little snip. And I'm going to do that on both sides of that little seam. The hardest part is pulling the 2 layers apart so that you only get that top layer when you snip. Okay, so now I have 2 little holes on either side of the seam. So now you take your t-shirt yarn, and I do like to take a contrasting color. I just think it makes it more fun, but you could definitely use the same color if you're just have one shirt to use and that's all you have. You're going to put a safety pin in the end, and that just gives you something to push with. You're going to stick it through that little one of the slits that you just made, and you're going to push it around in that hem from that sleeve. Once you've got your safety pin kind of full like that, you're going to pull it, and then you're going to push again and pull so that you're getting that string inside the bag. It's just like if you have a hoodie and the strings ever come out, or pajama pants and the strings ever come out, and you have to put the string back in. That's what you're doing here on your bag. And you keep doing it until you get to the other end, to the other little hole that you made, and your safety pin is coming out, and you pull that out. And now you want to keep just kind of pulling and adjusting the bag until you can get your string. So if it's all the way pulled tight, I like to have, 5 or 6 inches left on the end. So I can kind of cut these off. And I would like to tie these together. So I'm going to do like the balloon tie, where you wrap it in a loop around your fingers and stick both tails through. Like that. Just like I usually start my jump ropes, which if you haven't watched those videos, I've got 2 different jump rope videos depending on which way you cut your t-shirts. And flip it back right side out. And there you have it. You have a bag, a drawstring bag that you can put items in. So if I'm using this for Operation Christmas Child, I might put Legos or marbles or something in a bag, or maybe hair ties and hair accessories, or if I have like a set of toys, like several little dolls, I can put them in a drawstring bag. There are so many uses for a little drawstring bag, and this was, first of all, it was a t-shirt that you weren't going to use anymore, that nobody was going to buy, that was just yucky, and you made jump ropes out of most of it. And now, instead of throwing the sleeves away, you have made some drawstring bags. Aren't those cute? Aren't those adorable? I hope that you will not just make your jump ropes, but you will also make some little bags to go in your Operation Christmas Child shoe boxes, or maybe just some drawstring bags for yourself. I want to share with you from Titus chapter 3, verse 14. This is the NIV. It says, "Our people must learn to devote themselves to doing what is good in order to provide for urgent needs and not live unproductive lives." I found this verse and was thinking about these little drawstring bags. You could put little shampoos and soaps and things in these bags and maybe pass them out to homeless people, as well as putting them with toys in them for your Operation Christmas Child shoe boxes. Something like this, that we're making and we're being productive and we're doing good to provide for the urgent needs of others, I think is such a wonderful thing. What are you doing to help others? I hope that you enjoyed this video learning how to make a drawstring bag out of a t-shirt sleeve. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, toodles!